How's it going, everybody? We have system maintenance happening today, which got me and my chat interested in doing a deep dive on Battleworld. All the pictures that we saw, the information that we have, and hey, is it time to prepare right now? So we're going to answer those questions and more in this video. If you do like this video, make sure you leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And the biggest question, or seemingly the biggest question on everybody's mind is, should I be investing heavy into these teams now? So I am, of course, talking about the Hive Mind, Extreme, Spider Society, and Alpha Flight team that Scopely all but warned us are going to be essential when it comes to our Battleworld adventures. Now, the reason we know they're going to be essential is because they say, hey, there's going to be offers for these guys. Now, there's actually other offers as well that we could talk about briefly, one including the Annihilators. It was 3 Annihilators, 3 new Annihilators, $70 or 70 shards for like $50 or something like that. So they're trying to get us prepared for a lot of teams, which means Battleworld's going to need a wide roster. But what we do know about Battleworld is the pictures that they shared with us here. So let me find the first picture right here. This is one that they shared with us, right? And it leads us to the second picture, which shows the zones that we are currently, or I guess we will be battling through for Null. So the first zone, they actually show us the required teams for it. Oops, I clicked off it. The required teams for it, sort of. So there's City, Cosmic, Spider-Verse, Cosmic, Astral, which I guess is going to be a brand new team, it looks like, or at least it feels like it, and then Pegasus, and then the Spec Ops are their brand new thing, which we can talk about in a second as well. So let's see, City, Cosmic, Spider-Verse, Cosmic. Well, City team, well, Spider Society is a City team. They're also a Spider-Verse team, right? So it makes sense that, hey, this is one of the premier City teams, definitely the best Spider-Verse team. So when it comes to Zone 1, yeah, this team's going to be pretty damn necessary, right? Well, how high do we want to build them? I know a lot of people have Spider Society maxed out, so it's not the best example. But maybe we're going to have to split these guys up so they can each help take out their own zone. Or maybe we'll have a team like, Superior 6 come in. That's another City team. Those are different options that we might be faced with, right? So we didn't get a straight call out to Spider Society in the picture. No, we got a straight call out to Pegasus. So then I started looking at these other teams, and I started thinking, like, which teams here do we think would get a straight call out, or which teams would just get a general call out? I think the Extreme X-Men and the Spider Society, they can get general call outs, right? You can have an X-Men tag needed. You could have a mutant tag needed. Spider Society, you could have Spider-Verse needed. Hero Spider-Verse needed. Skill would be a very big one for Spider Society. So there's a lot of ways they can get us to use those guys. But when it comes to Hive Mind, mixture of heroes, villains. They're all bio, but hell, there's a lot of great bio characters. You would not be pigeonholed into needing to use Hive Mind if there was a bio tag, right? So I do think we will see a direct call out for Hive Mind, which makes sense because it is, after all, Null's battle role. So that makes perfect sense. And then there's Alpha Flight. And Alpha Flight was the most obvious to me. Like, Alpha Flight, in my opinion, is definitely going to be a straight call out tag, similar to the way we see Pegasus called here. We'll talk about Pegasus in a second, by the way. But if we go over and we look at Alpha Flight, like the difference in their tags, the only tag that overlaps with all of them, obviously Alpha Flight does, but the rest are so far different. Besides all being Hero Global, which we would have great other Hero Global options, right? We'd have Illuminati, we'd have the Extreme Team, we'd have Black Knight, we'd have a lot of Hero Globals that we would use before needing to build Alpha Flight. Which is why I think Alpha Flight would be a direct call out. So you'll hear Hero Global Tech Brawler, Hero Global Mutant Controller, Hero Global Bio Protector. So already, like, the 3 new characters all have 3 different origin traits, which makes it very, very difficult, right? I think that is an interesting observation, which makes me think, like, we're going to see an Alpha Flight be a direct tag. Whether that be for one of these elite missions or one of the others, I'm not sure. We just don't know what's going to happen here. Let's talk about this elite mission for a second. So there's a lot to take away. First of all, these are purple crystals, which makes me think purple ions, which is also further empowered when we look at this Battleworld store. They told us Battleworld is where we're going to get a lot of purple ISO, and we see crystals right here. So I think that we might get extra rewards, possibly. Like, why else would they have the crystals here, right? Unless this is just where you get, no, see the victory points here, you get a little bit more, but nothing crazy. So I do think that we might get extra rewards on this node for using these teams. This looks like it may be a new team. Maybe it'll be the first Battleworld team. Maybe it'll be a new War or Crucible team. Maybe it'll be the team of the next Legendary. Who knows? But the fact that we need that or Pegasus, This is brutal. And this is where I'm going to tell you what I'm going to go tell developers right after seeing this and really kind of digesting it. Pegasus is not the team that should be here. I understand what they want to do, right? They want to have a team that's going to excel in whatever the challenge is behind this node, this mission. And that's going to be the newest team, obviously. And then they kind of want to have a team that some people have built up that'll probably get you through the first couple of difficulties. They did this with the current raid, which I mean, that's what's going to happen with raids. It's just, that's the reality, right? The problem is Pegasus is an absolutely dead team. And there's no reason to pigeonhole this damn team on the new game. No, the developers need to scrap Pegasus, unless this is just like text holder. This could just be text placeholder, right? But if it's not, for the love of God, guys, please take the Pegasus off here. Put a different team that's used in Crucible or War or hopefully both, like maybe Superior 6. That way, you know, you want to use Superior 6 in the city, but you also need them for the elite missions. It helps stretch your roster. Like, that's an interesting thing. But Pegasus is a dead team, and you should not be trying to get new players to try and build this team up while they wait the 90 to 60 to 90 to 120 to 300, I don't know, however many days it's going to take us to unlock new teams. Because let me tell you, I don't even have Nimrod unlocked from the Orcus yet, let alone Omega Sentinel, let alone Blade, you know, and Oath is going to be the next. Like, there's so much longer to get these characters unlocked now. If Battle World is coming soon, and this is like a team that gets unleashed when the mode comes out, that's going to absolutely suck. This is Zone freaking 1, man. Get Pegasus out of there. That's gross. Put a different team on there, for the love of God. Anyway, I forget where I was going with this. Alpha Flight. So, like, do you want to invest in Alpha Flight? Well, that's a good question, because maybe Alpha Flight will be like Pegasus, right? And if that's the case, then maybe we just want to chill on it. We just want to, hopefully, the rest of our alliance mates can get in there, get enough victory points to get us to the next zone. It would be the same thing as a Spotlight Raid. Like, is your alliance carrying you? Are they willing to carry you? How hard is that going to hurt you as far as the rewards go for this? I'm kind of hiding it right now, but if we come over here, and then I just take my camera away, I believe. I'll take both cameras away. You can kind of see, right, that there is earned victory points for the next milestone, and we see there's that currency. There's blue ISO here. I assume as you get further on, it turns into purple ISO, so on and so forth. So it becomes like, how much of a detriment is you skipping Alpha Flight going to cause to your alliance? It's a tough question. Do you want to build Alpha Flight just for this? Obviously, there's a Spotlight Raid. Who knows how long Alpha Flight will be used in that? But after that, guys, if say Alpha Flight was needed for this node right here, but then eventually you do unlock Astral, you're just going to have a subpar defensive team that to make any sort of useful, you got to put characters like Ares or Skrull on, and that's not fun. That's not great. It's also a defensive team. That's how I feel about defense teams, okay? Anyway, so should you build Alpha Flight? Well, they've given us enough reason to build Alpha Flight up to this point. So if you already did, that's great. If not, you may be looking at this event that's currently running where, hey, if you have Alpha Flight at gear tier 18 or 19, same with the Hive Mind and Spider Society, then you're going to be getting lots of points. Now, this milestone is actually completable if you're willing to core enough. If you have the required raid teams, you core a lot in the campaign, and maybe you have some hoarded energy like I know a lot of people are doing, you could maybe get this crazy amount of ions that are on this. I know there's a lot of people who are super engaged that are actually going to be completing this event, which is insane, without spending money, using hordes of cores and their hordes of energy, which I think is cool. Getting that much ions, I think is great. So the question is, if you have everything but the characters needed to finish this milestones, should you put gear tier 19 on these characters? Well, let's do a tier list, because everyone loves a good tier list, okay? So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the characters from the teams that I think are the most useful at gear tier 19. It doesn't necessarily mean like if I put Red Goblin ahead and I put, I don't know, put Peter down here, it doesn't mean I'd rather have gear tier 19 on Red Goblin than I would on Peter. What it means is, out of the Hive Mind team, he's the one who would benefit the most from the gear tier 19, and so he would get priority if I'm doing it for this event, right? And now here's another addition to this whole equation is I'm currently doing DD7 right now. If I wanted to, I could put gear tier 19 on Guardian right now. and I can get further in this event. I can't finish the event on that account. So do I care to derail my Dark Dimension 7 journey to Mephisto for this one event? That's a deeply personal decision. Honestly, if I could finish the event, and that would give me enough purple ISOs to do 3 characters on the journey to Odin, I would do it. I would do it. No, I'm sorry, guys. I would derail my Mephisto journey by 1 full character if it meant I could finish this milestone. So you should go use the tool that LivePool made earlier and see. There's a different video on that from yesterday, and you can check it out in the Discord. If it meant I could finish this event, I would 100% do it. Because you don't need to have the entire team at Gear Tier 19. You need to have 1 character from each team at Gear Tier 19 and use that character 20 times through the 7 days. Okay? You need to understand how beneficial these final milestones are if they're obtainable. This is something that you should actually consider. And then on the beginning of this video, I guess 6 more days, correct. On the beginning of this video, we also talked about how these characters are, they're going to be required one way or another for Battle World, whether it be as a tagged team or like the Extreme X-Men. Maybe they're going to have someone who was in here earlier saying there's going to be multiple nodes needed that are going to have like mutants or whatever the case may be. So the Extreme team would fit in a bunch of those nodes. Maybe we have to split them up. So there you go. I mean, there's going to be more reasons to build these guys up than just this event, but this event is kind of the cherry on top. But let's do this in real time together. We're already at 11 minutes, so let's get through this quickly. I'll start by doing the Spider Society. Spider Society, amazing team. A lot of people already have this team all at Gear Tier 19 because they are part of that Mephisto journey. And in doing so, I think that's actually really good. I went ahead and I brought these 3 with me for my Dark Dimension 7 journey. And I think that those are the 3 best. I think Peter is just 1 step below, and I actually think Ghost Spider's further down. Great character, don't get me wrong, but she's further down. If you haven't done any of these characters yet, obviously this is a big ask, but I would definitely focus on Pav being the top priority, followed by Penny, because that is skill and tech gear, as opposed to, actually, he's bio gear. No, he's all skill, though, Gear Tier 19. These are skill characters, makes a lot more sense, okay? So that's how I would prioritize it anyway. If you can do all 3, great. If not, I would probably do Penny and Pav first. Pav is the best plug-and-play character. Penny's kind of the best on the team. Noir is an amazing character, but you can kind of use him for his activation of other characters like Old Man Logan. All right, let's move on to the Extreme team. I don't think I'm going to scare anybody off here. Nightcrawler is definitely the most important character in the Extreme team, and that's kind of the only character that I would put Gear Tier 19 on. I would just put it on Nightcrawler, and I would cancel out attacks, right? I would just make sure I get to use the Extreme 20 times, whether that be I'm using them on the first 2 nodes in the Spotlight raid where you can use whoever you want, or in the mutant section of the Orcus. I would go in, lose on purpose, lose on purpose, and I would just make sure I get that done 20 times during the remainder of this event, which at the time of recording this, and hopefully an hour or so after posting it, is still 6 days. After that, I mean, Gambit's a really good character. He would be up there. Forge would be the 3rd for me, and then it would probably be Sunspot last, and Cyclops dead last. I would not really consider Cyclops. All right, as far as the Outflight goes, I was watching Mobile Gaming yesterday. I thought it was funny. Him and his chat, they're wrong. Guardian is the best character on the Outflight team for plug and play. Let me tell you why. Because he's got a goddamn maple leaf on his chest representing the true Great White North, but also because he gives his entire team offense up on spawn, so makes him a great plug and play character besides just trying to get revive strips off, which can be deflected or dodged, whatever. I guess they can't be dodged from Northstar. Don't get me wrong, Northstar is good. Guardian is a better plug and play character, not just because he gives offense up on spawn to characters like Red Hulk, who then activates Apocalypse, and then when Apocalypse ults, he's ulting with offense up. That's kind of something a lot of people don't understand. When Apocalypse does his opening ult attack, he doesn't yet have offense up unless he retaliated somebody before. So making sure he has offense up for that ult, really nice. But also, putting Guardian in with Kang and Cabal makes sure Kang have offense up on spawn. Cabal puts vulnerables. All of a sudden, Kang, doing his basic, is putting the goddamn smackdown on somebody. And then, They just gave us 3 diamonds on Guardian if you were able to finish Kiln Tower. So you already have him at this giant stat marker because of those diamonds for free, giving him the extra stats. And then he does his special, hits adjacent, puts defense down, and his ISO attack. This guy is actually an unsung hero, and I think a lot of people would get good value out of him. Sorry, I was a little passionate about Captain Canada. But he's the only one I would put at Gear 219. And I wouldn't put him on Gear 219 unless I wanted to for this event, okay? North Star, I think, would be next up, and Sasquatch after that. I don't think these guys are bad characters by any stretch of the imagination. I guess realistically, I would actually put them down here. Like, I would really only put them at Gear 219 if I really, really wanted to. If I had the extra materials for that. Great characters. I do think North Star is an interesting plug-and-play character with his buff flips. Damage is a little bit which I don't think Gear 219 is going to save it for most people. I have him 3 diamonds, Gear 219 on my big account, and I don't really notice much difference, but I do notice Guardian smacking bitches all over the place. Sasquatch defensive character, look, yes, he's the on-turn taunter. You get some good value to him on the defensive side, but when people work around the Sasquatch, they're typically not trying to bust through him, and even if they do, they only need to do 25% of his life. So I don't really think the stats, except for like, base level 100 Gear Tier 18, I don't think the stats from Crimson Gear are going to make your Sasquatch really that much more formidable. I just don't. But he's a good character. Wolverine. Look, Wolverine is actually interesting because he does get subbed out of the Alpha Flight team on the defensive side if you want to put Skrull in there. And then Wolverine with the Weapon X team is very interesting, but that is such a niche thing. That Wolverine's going to go here, but he does not go below Cyclops. Cyclops is trash because Old Man Logan stole his girl and his motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? Like, stole his team from him. Sunfire. Now that the rest of the Alpha Flight team is farmable, I don't think you need to put any extra love into Sunspot. No, this is Sunfire. I don't think you need to put any extra love into Sunfire when you can instead invest more into Guardian, North Star, and Sasquatch. So Sunfire, definitely not deserving of that Gear Tier 19, but he's still more valuable than a Cyclops because Old Man Logan stole Cyclops' girl. So look, we have our Extreme, we have our Alpha Flight. These are the only characters that, like, if you don't have anybody done, these are the guys I recommend that you do for this event and for the upcoming other stuff. And then as far as Hive Mind goes, Hive Mind is tough, but I think Red Goblin is the most valuable member on that team. The damage that this guy does once you have him farmed up, put some diamonds on him, some Gear Tier 19 love into this guy, if he reaches his turn, he's going to push so many enemy characters for this Carnage passive, and that's going to pop off in a big, big, big way. After that, I actually would put Carnage up here. Carnage is the passive. He's also the second character that can actually do damage. So the way it normally works, if you're trying to get your Hive Mind to pop off and start snowballing, Void Knight will flip all a bunch of buffs, put like defense down on the enemy, a bunch of bleeds, but his ultimate doesn't really do much damage. Carnage comes in next at 126, and he can do his special, and if he's really big and he hits that special, he's likely to push some people, especially if he's hitting the defense down that Void Knight put out there, right? And so that can activate the Hive Mind, reach the Red Goblin, and then Red Goblin is off to the races. Also, Red Goblin and Carnage are great, great Dark Dimension 8 group. Just fantastic. Gwenum. Yeah, I mean, Gwenum, I'd put her around here. Look, I'd put her above the Alpha Flight members for sure, but not above Forge. Great character, fun, but often subbed out. So putting Gear 219 on her doesn't feel great. And Venom, he's the same as Cyclops. Look, unfortunately, Venom is such an iconic character, but building him is just a horrible idea because Skrull takes his spot in the Orcus Raid, and you need Skrull to take his spot in the Orcus Raid. So, like, this is what I would say, guys. I would recommend these guys first to Gear Tier 19 for event if you haven't already. These would be definitely worthy Gear Tier 19 characters in the long run, in my opinion. And then these would be like, oof, super luxury, right? Super luxury, let's spell it properly. And these are characters that, like, I mean, let's just call it what it is. Super duper Kraken luxury. Let's be nice though, slash super fans, right? There's people that just love Venom, love Ghost Spider. They want to bring her up higher. And especially a character like Ghost Spider, you got free diamonds for. Same with Cyclops. It feels good to double down on investments, but it's not super necessary. Oh boy, I nearly ended the video without actually making the point of the video clear. So guys, these are who I would suggest investing in for this event in the order I would recommend doing it, right? But the whole point of this video is talk about, like, should you be investing in these teams now for Battle World? And the answer is what it always is: no. You should not be investing in teams that are hinted at as being necessary before we see the full scope of the situation. Because although I do strongly feel like Alpha Flight is going to be on a node like this where it is tagged that is necessary, maybe not. Maybe it'll be a tag on one of these earlier ones, and instead of having Astral, it'll have something else with it. Maybe it'll have, I don't know, like Annihilators on that. It'd be like Annihilators or Alpha Flight. But then there's also Cosmic nodes that make you want to use Annihilators, but we could find different Cosmic solutions. As opposed to building Alpha Flight, we could use Annihilators on that node. So no, you should not preemptively panic and max out the 4 teams that were shown here, your Spider Society, Hive Mind, Extreme, and Alpha Flight. No, you should not instantly max them out because of what we've seen, but you should definitely be keeping them in your mind. You should probably start hoarding up a good amount of T4s if you haven't already got the maximum investment in these guys. And you should also be hoarding up a lot of gold, a lot of training materials, and even a lot of gear. Because maybe we'll need gear tier 19 on more than just the, to gear tier 19 first for the event, and also characters worth gear tier 19 in the long run. It's very possible we might need to gear tier 19 all 4 of these teams at higher difficulties if and only if they are 100% required on a node, or there's so many different nodes with similar overlapping tags that they become the default team. Food for thought, all right? Let me know how you guys feel about this video. Are you guys hyped for Battle World? Do you like the idea of it stretching your roster? Do you like the idea of building up these raid teams even bigger than you already have them if you don't have them maxed? Be curious to know all of your opinions in the comment section below. And also, guys, just like last video, please in the comment section below, tell the developers to let the Envoys record footage of the Null battle to share with you guys, because I think that is so hyped. And I know a lot of you want to see Null in action. So again, let it be known in the comment section below so that they can get those messages. I can share it with them repeatedly and hopefully get footage of Battle World to you guys sooner rather than later. But for now, stay happy, stay healthy, have fun. Have yourselves a wonderful day. We'll talk next time. Bye, guys. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.